What's up everyone, it's Warhorg, and today I thought we could do something that has never been done before. Complain about Overwatch. Okay, not complain, we're going to be constructive, because we're grown-ups here, and most people that complain about Overwatch are angry kids on Reddit and Twitter. Now the game itself is amazing, but it's the balance philosophy that's bad. If you agree, like and subscribe. If you don't agree, you can still like and comment why. So let's begin. We gotta go all the way back to the start of Overwatch 1. Ana was the first hero released, and she had amazing design, good healing when you hit your shots, and an ult that enabled teammates and a skill shot to win a team fight or cancel an ult, but you needed to hit sleep dart to win. Ana had really good design. Now the support roster was Ana, Lucio, Mercy, Zenyatta, and Symmetra. Okay, let's be real, Symmetra had terrible design, let's ignore her. Yeah, all of the supports had strength and weaknesses. Ana, good healing, had to hit skill shots. Mercy had good healing, but no damage. Lucio had low healing, but a lot of value from his speed and a team-saving ult. And Zenyatta was a glass cannon that enabled teammates and had a strong ult. It's not to say Mercy's ult was very balanced though, Mazrez was crazy, but really, just kill her first. And to be honest, all the heroes had strength and weaknesses in the game, and a lot of the heroes wasn't hard counters, but soft counters, so it was still a skill matchup. And most heroes that had high value abilities was skill shots, like Sleep Dart or Dragon Blade, which was an ult that didn't give free value. And 6v6 made counter swapping the enemy tank not that valuable, because there were two tanks. And I want to fast forward to 2024 to talk about that, but I'd rather talk about the changes before Overwatch 2 that also sucked because of a lot of the new heroes after Ana had really bad design, and we're going to talk about Overwatch 2 later. You see, Overwatch was designed to be a hard game and then made it easier over time. I believe Jeff Kaplan said this, if I'm not schizo, starting already with the second hero release after Ana being Orisa. Her design, in my opinion, wasn't particularly bad, but she was really boring and low effort to play. Then we got Doomfist, who had a really good design. Forwarding to Moira, who was the first poorly designed support that introduced this style. She had AoE healing that was super strong, didn't need to aim her damage or her healing, and had a get out of jail free card with her shift, a really strong ult, and still like she could burst heal with her orbs. So she had low risk, high reward, but having one or two comfort picks being Mercy and Moira, I think that's okay in every game, because some people just want to chill, right, and play a chill hero, and Moira and Mercy are chill heroes. But then we got the monster Brig, who introduced Goats and was another support that had AoE healing and single target healing, plus an insane barrier and a stun, one-shot DPS, and a really good ult that even gave you armor that lasted after the ult. And just like Moira, she was quite easy to play when you understood her kit. After Rig, we skip a couple of months being Ball and Ashe, that both of them were really good design, I think, in my opinion. I mean, I think 6v6 Ball is a really well-designed tank because he's self-sufficient. You know, he's a very different tank, and he's you know, it doesn't work in 5v5 because you want a tank, and Ball can't be meta in 5v5 because everyone's going to be very, very annoyed. But he was a well-designed tank for 6v6 in my opinion. And Ashe too, I think Ashe also is one of the best designed DPS. I love Ashe with my whole heart. But they're both well designed, right? And then we got Baptiste, who had a really good AoE heal, plus as much DPS as Soldier, another AoE burst heal to heal people really fast up, and his Lamp, which changed the game permanently by not allowing people to die when inside of Lamp. So now you cannot use your ultimate until a Lamp is broken and used. So it's much harder to get a kill with Pulse Bomb, for example, and Grav Dragon basically dies because you can't kill people with an basic ability. And then we got Sigma, who was really overkitted, but he was fun and not super annoying. But Sigma being released, we got the double shield bunker meta, which was the most boring meta in the whole game. And you're going to see a pattern. Up until Overwatch 2, there is basically only poorly designed supports. Now during bunker comp, people blamed Sigma and Orisa to be the problem because of the shields, but what really sustained this comp was BAP. So whenever there was downtime on the tanks, BAP and another support like maybe Brig could just keep everyone alive. So now people hate Sigma and Orisa because they saw those two tanks hold the line, while it was actually the supports who made the meta so good. Remember, not only did BAP have crazy sustain, he also had insane damage, and no joke, his DPS was the same as Soldier's. Now we're done reminiscing in the past, and let's go over to Overwatch 2. And I want to do this fast. So Kiriko being the next super bad design character. On paper, she's fine, she has a really fun kit, but her kit is just so strong because she has literally everything. And the worst part, she continues the tradition of immortality. Now I'm going to talk about the Overwatch 2 supports because we will deal with the tanks altogether after. And you see next is Lifeweaver, whose whole kit is based on denying value and also having an immortality grip. Then Iliari, who isn't even fit to be a support in my opinion, and her pylon is just a mercy that's sitting on a wall, healbotting with zero risk. Now this is the worst part. The shift from 6v6 to 5v5 is what really made things bad, because now there's only one tank and supports need to take care of themselves. So Blizzard just made them able to fully dual DPS, and some supports actually has the upper hand, for example Bap and Kiri. Now, let's forget about supports for a second and go on to tanks, who had to be super buffed in order to function in 5v5, and that also sucked, because now you can't kill a tank alone, and you need to deal with the supports who also can duel you easily now because of the buffs they received because there is no second tank to peel. Think about this, if Mago was released in 6v6 for example, I don't think he would be hated as much, because he would actually be killable because he had so much less health then. Now I don't even want to talk a lot about 5v5 versus 6v6, I just want to compare things to Overwatch 1 and 2, and you know, the changes that made the game less fun in my opinion. Now, all of the tanks released in Overwatch 2 would be amazing back in Overwatch 1, and especially, for example, Ramatra and Queen, I think those would be super fun. I think maybe remove one of Ramatra's abilities, because he is very overkitted for Overwatch 1, but imagine Ramatra and Queen in Overwatch 1. They would actually be so fun. Now I want to go back to the immortality, because that's what really makes the game boring. Imagine this, you ult and make an amazing play, but then a support comes and cancels your whole ult with Lamp, Grip, or Suzu, so an ability cancels an ult. That's a very unfair trade. You use an ultimate, you have to charge up, and basically has a very long cooldown, while a support with a 15 to 20 second cooldown cancels it, right? It doesn't really make sense. And the reason why this is so frustrating isn't because it's, you know, they cancel it with an ability. It's because it's not a skill shot even, like Ana Sleep. You know, they don't even have to aim their ability. You just press a button and it either auto-aims or is AoE. Now lastly, I want to take a little bit of time to talk about Juno, because her design was really good in her playtest, but then they released her and they actually did the exact opposite of what they should have done. They nerfed her primary fire a little bit and then buffed her only no skill ability being the auto-aim. An ability that you don't need to aim yourself, and that, you know, it cannot be strong because that will ruin the skill expression of the game, which is really sad. So there's a pattern in Overwatch that removes a lot of skill expression on the heroes, and not really on the DPS, because I feel like DPS hasn't changed much, while supports and tanks have gotten their skill expression basically removed, and not really in the tanks being less no skill, but the amount of different playstyles you can do in a tank is very limited because you're alone and you need to hold the front line, so you can't really flank super hard on Roadhog, for example, anymore. Anyways, let's take Iliari for example. You put Pylon down and it basically just heals everyone and focuses the person that is the least health. So it's basically a mercy, but when you use it, there's no risk compared to the value Pylon gives, and you can just put it there and it's a really safe spot and nobody can hit it. Now we can talk about Kiriko, because she can flank all she wants, and when she is in danger, just TP out, and if she gets hit by burst damage, you can just Suzu and TP out. And Bap has no skill too of hitting his abilities, because both have crazy range and AoE. Do you see what I mean? The skill requirements of the newer heroes are much lower than the older heroes like Tracer, Genji, and even Winston and Ana, because there's like little to no risk in what you're doing with your abilities compared to before. For example, Ana can shut down an ult, but she needs to hit a sleep dart, which is really hard to do on some heroes like Genji and Tracer, while the Bap can just look down and press E and save his team. Don't you agree? I really hope you enjoyed the video or agree with me, and if you do, please like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.